Okay, so in this hour, we want to think about what is business analytics and why it is so important, right? Okay, so well, the reason that analytics is important is becoming more and more important. I believe that in the past 10 years, the information technology is like booming. It's like exploding kind of development in the information technology, right? First of all, the big data, right? Era, like every little things that we are doing everything via the network, via the internet, right? And actually every movement in the internet is actually captured somewhere, right? So if you are a business, if you are a company, right? Every movement that your customer go to your website will be captured, right? Every item that he buy from you will be captured, right? So inside the company, there are a lot of data, right? And the data is not only inside of your company. You can also actually get a lot of data from the internet, right? From the government, from the outside industry report. You can actually get the data from the outside, right? So you will have a lot of business data like never before, right? So the amount of data is one thing, and the second thing is the technology that used to process the data is also advancing very, very quickly, right? From basic data processing to data visualization, right? Interactive data visualization, right? To machine learning, artificial intelligence, right? This like information technology is like advanced in a very, very quick speed, and that technology actually will trigger the business transformation, right? Okay, to do business, one of the core competence to be successful in today's digital society is to do some business transformation, right? You want to use the technology to process the data and use the result of your analysis for your strategic planning and for your action planning, right? So what we mean by business technology, what we mean by digital transformation is the capability that is the core competence of modern company that can utilize data, that can apply the information technology, the data science technology to data to do the analysis and do their strategic planning according to the analysis, right? This is different from the management in the 10 years ago. Like 10 years ago, a lot of managers tend to make their decision just by their own knowledge about the company, by their knowledge about the industry. But nowadays, things are changing, right? Because every movement of customer has already been captured, and that record is already becoming data. So the capability to use data is very important for the company transformation, right? So that's That's why the world-class business school like Wharton Business School, like Sloan Business School, like Harvard Business School, they are all offering this business and analytic course. If you go to the online course platform like Coursera, EDX, you can very easily find that they are all offering this course, right? Okay. Actually, there's an article in Harvard Business School, Harvard Business Review, right? It's called that data scientist is the sexiest job of the 21st century. Okay, so it means that if you have these three capability, right? First of all, the computer science technology, and also mathematics and statistics capability, and also the business domain knowledge, then this type of human resource, this type of employee is the most popular employee, right, in the job market, right? Okay. If we want to do a digital transformation in the company, right, which means that we want to transform the business from the traditional type of organization, traditional type of a process, right, to the data-driven, to the analytic-driven strategy planning and action and operation, right? So that actually not only learning programming is not enough, okay? You also need to learn a lot of, you also need to know a lot of business domain knowledge, okay? Only by combining this data, programming, and also business domain knowledge can we unleash the full power of data. Can we only the synergy can make the most value out of data, right? Okay, so in this class we are in the business school, right? So I'm not teaching you doing programming. I'm not teaching you how to do the write a very, very good program. That's not our objective, okay? Our objective is to give you some basic programming capability. You don't need to write a very, very good, very, very lengthy program. No, that's not what we want to teach you in this class. In this class, we want to teach you only some basic capability that's enough to process the data, analyze the data, so that you can see the company operating status, so that you can predict the future, get some idea about the future, so that you can make your planning according to the data, make your strategy according to the analysis, right? And that take actually not only programming capability, but also business domain knowledge, right? If you go into the internet and search for data scientist, this is usually what you will see, right? It will tell you that the data programming is all about collecting data, cleaning data, and do some exploratory analysis, as I have told you, right? And do some modeling, do some deployment, do some by deployment in our context, it is like using model to do prediction, right? Okay, so there are some job offering like data engineer, data analyst, machine learning engineer, and artificial intelligence engineer, data scientist, that type of job offering. But this offering is for engineers, right? Okay, in the business school, our requirement is the requirement for a data savvy manager is very different from engineer, right? Okay, so in business context, all of this data analysis is only a tool, right? It's not our purpose, right? For business analysis, what we want to do is we want to be able to do prediction, to do assumption, simulation, to do optimization, to do decision, right? We do the programming. It's not our purpose. Our purpose is to use this programming to do prediction, assumption, simulation, optimization, decision, right? And we actually need to have the domain knowledge like strategy management, marketing, operation, accounting, human resource, right? We need this domain knowledge to to do our planning, to do our assumption simulation, right? Okay, so only by combining the programming capability with the business domain knowledge can we do the business analytic, and that is the key talent for this sort of transformation. We need the manager with data science capability. Okay, so that is the purpose of this course. Okay, if you take a look at the online course for MIT, for Harvard, for Wharton Business School, they all have this course like 10 years ago, like, okay, and of course along the time the technology is changing, and the course evolve, just like our course, right? The key importance, the key difference of business analytic course and your programming course that used to offer in the engineering school, right? The difference is our focus is not only on the programming. Okay, we want to teach you how to do business by using data, by using programming, or the other way around. I want to teach you how to apply programming to do these business decisions, right? You have your strategy planning, your marketing plan, right? You have your operational planning, right? How to use data, how to use programming, so that you can know the current situation, you can predict the future, and do the simulation, so that you can do the strategic planning, marketing planning, operation better than before, right? Okay. So in business school, we are not teaching a good engineer. This is not our point, right? Especially nowadays, the technology is advancing very, very quickly, right? We are not. It's not our purpose. It's not our objective of business school to train engineer. Our objective is to train manager, right? So actually we were not. That is the reason that we choose the R programming language instead of like Python programming language. Okay. Later on, I will teach you that actually R is not a formal programming language. It's actually just a script language that we develop in Bell Lab. Okay. Actually, I have used R programming language for already 30 years. 30 years, because it was invented like in 1990s, 1991, 92, right, in Bell Lab. And I used to work there when we developed this language. At that time, we call it S, not R. Okay, it's the S language, and later on you change the name to the R programming language. It is not a very precise. It's not a formal programming language like Python, like C++, like Java, right? That type of language is used in the engineering area, and it actually is more difficult. It will have a longer learning curve to master. R is easier to get started, as you will experience in this week's homework assignment. Actually, you don't need to have you don't need to know about the computer architecture. You don't need to know about data structure or too many things. It's quite intuitive, very easy to get started. Okay, so if you take a look at the other business school, they are also using R to teach business analytics. So we can spare some time to teach you how to use programming in the context of business management, right? That is the point, right? So this course is different from a programming language introduction type of course, right? You are not learning R programming in this course. We just use this R as a tool, right? To help us process and analyze business data so we can do the managerial decision better, right? That's the point, okay? So for another example, if we are there are some Chinese here, but actually the 探索 is actually exploration, okay? 预测 is actually just prediction, so just read the English, okay? For example, if we want to do the marketing analysis, right? Then first of all, we can do some data exploration, right? We have data, we can do some overview, we can do a market segmentation, we can check the performance. So we can decide that what is our focus group, right? For example, I want to focus on, in the next season, the focus of our marketing will be focused on the X generation and female, right? In marketing, actually, very often that you need to, first of all, you need to select, we call STP, right? The first thing is do segmentation, right? S. And have you ever learned marketing management? No? So, okay, so forget it. Before you do marketing, you actually need to select your target segment, right? For example, I want to, the next season, I want to put my focus on this X generation female, right? So, but how can I do this decision? I need to know from the data, I can do some analysis, right? So for each segment, I will know their revenue contribution. I can know their profit contribution, right? So every different group, they would have different preference, buy different things, and they will have different margin rate. They will have different buying amount, right? So when I get the data, first of all, I do some summarization so I can see the currency situation, right? I know that what type of product is selling well, what type of product is selling badly, right? I know that which customer group is actually generating more revenue, right? And I know that which customer group they like to buy what type of product, right? That type of things is actually we can summarize the data and visualize the data, so we know that the different we know the different product, the different channel, the performance of and the value of different customer group, the performance of every different channel, every different product. Then we can make the decision to set our focus, set our goal, right? Okay. So for example, I want to, after I do the data exploration, I will know the current marketing situation. And then according to that situation, I actually will select a group for our marketing focus. For example, I want to select the Generation X and female. And then I can set the goal, right? From the historical data, I will see that maybe in average, there were every customer in this group, they will contribute like $500 profit, right? In average, right? So I can set the goal, right? I can do some promotion. I can do some marketing advertisement that focus on that group, so that I want to raise their average profit contribution from $500 to $600, right? Okay. So how can you select the focus group? How can you set the target, set the goal? If you do not know the current situation, you don't know how to make the selection, isn't it? Right? So for marketing analysis, we do data exploration, so we know the current situation, so we know how to set the focus and set the goal, right? Okay? So this is for planning. This is the strategy that we make. But the strategy will not realize itself, right? I want to raise the profit contribution from 500 to 600. If I don't do anything, then nothing will change, right? Okay. You need to do some promotion. You need to do some advertisement. You need to spend some marketing effort, right? So to raise the buying frequency, to raise the intention to buy, right? So you need to design some instrument. The instrument is what we call by marketing instrument. Is for it's something like advertisement is the marketing instrument, right? Promotion is another one, right? You can actually if you have the mobile app, right, you can send some coupon to your target marketing group, right? Nowadays, marketing app is very, very popular, right? Okay, so as long as you have a group of people in your target, you can actually selectively design an instrument, right? For example, I send a coupon to this X generation female, right? And but the coupon has many type, right? Like I can have the $10 coupon, I can have a $20 coupon, right? And I can set expiration date of coupon, right? Another instrument is like if I do an advertisement, there are many type of advertisement I can do, right? I can do a keyword search advertisement. I can do a banner or like video advertisement, right? So what type of instrument should I use? Actually, we can. That actually depends on how the customer would react to this instrument, right? So how can we choose the instrument? It's also we need to use the data to do some prediction, right? So after we do this promotion, the what the customer behavior will change, right? We want to predict the customer behavior, and we want to do some assumption that after we do this promotion, their behavior will change, right? So we know the cost effect of this instrument, right? For example, I send a coupon. The coupon will cost like $20 for each person, right? And after I select the target, right? When you analyze the data, when you have a prediction model, you will see that some people you can send the coupon, some people you cannot, right? And so you can select who you want to promote, who you do not want to promote, okay? And then you can actually, by doing programming, we can actually simulate the result of the instrument, and then select the best instrument, or select a combination of instrument to use, right? That's the way we doing marketing with data, right? First of all, we use the exploration analysis to select our focus, to set our goal, right? And then we build model to do prediction, right? And based on our business domain knowledge, we can do some assumption, so we can design our marketing instrument and select the individual that we want to promote, and then evaluate, try to estimate the cost effect when we apply this instrument to this group of target customer, right? And we are doing this by some programming, right? And that's what we are going to do in this entire semester, okay? So actually we can this slide is actually just another view that combine data and business. Okay, we can you can see that here we have a kind of like a production line, right? So this is the data production line. So we collect data, and data is actually like a raw material of this production line, right? You collect the data, you explore the data, analyze the data, do prediction, simulation, optimization, this type of things, right? So don't worry about this technology. We will go through this. In the R environment, there are already a lot of useful package. So as you already have seen in my I already show you some programming running situation, right? Usually you only need to write 2-3 lines of code, then you can do the exploration, analysis, prediction. It's quite easy to do that in R, and that is the reason that we want to choose R for business analytics, right? It's not a very rigid, it's not a very efficient rigid programming language, but it is good enough for business analytics, and it's easy to learn, right? Okay, so actually what you need to do is collect data, and then we use programming to connect this data production line, right? So now at the end of the production line, you will have some analysis. We're using tools, right? So you just prepare data and using tools to do these things. And at the end, you will have the knowledge. You need to combine your knowledge from strategy, management, marketing, finance, accounting, HR. You need this managerial domain knowledge to combine this domain knowledge and use the analytic result, right? And do planning, and do presentation, and do communication, and then you can set your strategy, right? Okay. So that's one important concept, right? At the end of the analysis, it's not the strategy. Okay. At the end of the exploration, you only see kind of like a dashboard, right? That display your current operating situation. After the analytic prediction, you only know the customer behavior, the probability of customer behavior, right? Okay. So at the end of the data analysis, it's not a strategy yet. Okay. You need to use your domain knowledge to interpret, to simulate, to communicate among the department, so that you can make a wise plan, so that you can raise the performance of your entire company, right? So digital transformation is not just engineering. Engineer cannot cannot be the leader for your company digital transformation, right? You need to have a manager, experienced manager that can combine the data analytics and also the business technology to do the job, to get the job done, right? Okay. But fortunately, usually in the old days, when you want to do the exploration, analysis, prediction, you need to write a lot of code. But nowadays, because of the advance of technology, we already have a lot of useful tools, and I would actually teach you how to use this tool in the first half of the semester, right? So you only need to prepare the data and you can treat each of this tool as a station in the production line, right? And you just collect the data and put it into this production line. You will get the analytic results. And the important thing that we want to teach you in this course is, as long after you have this analytic result, how you can apply the apply your managerial knowledge to this analytic result to make your strategy, to make your decision. Okay? So first half we will teach you how to use data to do analysis. Okay? And the second half I will teach you how to apply the business domain knowledge to this analytic result to do two things. First thing, strategy planning. Second thing, business decision. Okay? Okay. That is basically what we want to cover. And we already go through this, right? And this is just tentative. I will teach you R, and then we'll go to data exploration, business, and I will teach you some basic probability type of things, and modeling, right? Prediction, and then at the end of the semester, by the end of the semester, we'll have a holistic project that kind of like this, right? I'll give you some marketing data, and we can do a final project. That's so you will have experience to use data, explore the data to set the goal, set the focus, right? And then you can use data to do the prediction, and based on prediction to design your marketing instrument, designs the target segment, and then evaluate the cost effectiveness of this instrument. Okay, so that is the plan for this semester, and that is the a kind of a brief introduction to business analytics, right? Before I go to R programming, I want to actually kind of do some clarification. I want to kind of distinguish what is the difference between analytics, which is what we are teaching in this course, and also a generative type of artificial intelligence. They are different, actually. The analytic that we do in this class, in this course, is actually we are using data, right? As you can see in this page, right? We are using collected data and then to train model and do quantitative analysis, such as a dashboard, such as a model, such as a prediction. Okay, and our data is most likely looks like here looks like a table, right? Usually the business data is like this, right? This is every customer, right? And then every customer have their attributes that of our interest, right? Okay, so for analytic, we start from data, and we do the statistic and quantitative analysis on the data to create a dashboard, to create a model, to create a prediction, to do the simulation. Right? We use structural data, but this LLM is this large language model and so-called generative AI is a different things. They actually use pre-trained large language model, like ChatGPT, like Google Gemini, right? They actually already train a large language model that have like trillions of parameters inside the data, right? So it do not use your company data, right? It used all of the text that we can find in the internet. It used billions of text to train a large language model. So the model is pre-trained. It's already hosted by OpenAI, by Google, right? The model is pre-trained. And it do not use your company data. It is pre-trained, right? And they are more qualitative. It's not quantitative like analytic we do in this course, right? The method, the outcome is different. You use ChatGPT, you basically will get an article, right? Kind of things, right? It's not like a number. It's not like a diagram. Not like a plot, a line chart, or bar chart, a point chart type of thing, right? You will get something like article, and it's actually creative and suggestive, like the co-pilot, right? So analytic is kind of like your dashboard. After you do if you are driving a car, right, and you do this analytic, the result of the analytic is like your dashboard, right? You drive a car and you watch the dashboard and you can control the car by yourself, right? And that generative AI, they are kind of like a co-pilot, right? Okay. They also watch the dashboard, but they make the decision for you, right? Okay. And that is a technology is currently evolving very, very rapidly, right? Okay, and we will not cover that type of things in this course, okay? And at the by the end of the semester, actually I am discussing with the dean, and we are talking about how to introduce this generative AI into the College of Management, right? How to include that. This is the big topic that we need to decide, and we need to dig quickly in the labels of the College of Management, right? So hopefully you will have some workshop, some course introduced to the students before you graduate, right? Some of you are, I think before you graduate, you will have chance to like see some course. At least you will see some workshop or some activity that help you learn how to use the generative AI. Okay. The difficult thing is that it is actually evolving so quickly that every time we prepare the teaching material, it's outdated before the semester start, right? So, but we need to get started anyway. So actually, as I told you, that I'm discussing with the dean of the College of Management, and we hope that we can like also provide something in this front, right? Okay, so that is different from what we are teaching this week. This in this course, though. Okay. Okay. So that is the quick introduction of visual analytics and the course. And why we choosing R? In during the break, some classmates already asked that why we don't use Python. It looks like it's more popular in the engineering side, right? Actually, Python is a formal object-oriented language, right? You do need to have some backgrounds of data structure, of computer configuration. You need to have some engineering background, and it will take a longer learning curve to use Python. If I used Python to teach this course, at the end you will see that only to teach Python will actually use 10 weeks. We'll already use 10 weeks, and then we'll have no time to do the business management type of things, right? So if you take a look at the course offered by Harvard, by Wharton, by Sloan Business School, by Columbia Business School, usually they would, for a one semester business analytics course, usually people will use R because it's easier to get started, as we will see in the next hour. Okay, so that's for this hour. Let's take a break, and let's get back at 10 after 11.